You signed the lease, didn't you? Simple process. A few signatures, a security deposit, maybe a quick walkthrough. Nothing unusual. But let me ask you something. Before you moved into that house, did you ever ask what happened there before you? Or did you just assume it was just another empty space waiting to be filled? Because the truth is, houses don't forget. People leave, but something always stays behind. This isn't about ghosts the way movies show them. No loud screams, no flying chairs. Real horror is quieter. It lives in patterns, in habits, in things that feel slightly off. And if you've ever lived in a rented house, especially an old one, you might have already noticed the signs. Let's start with something small, something almost unnoticeable: the lights. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like the lighting wasn't just dim, but wrong? Not broken, not flickering, just heavy, like the light itself doesn't reach certain corners. You replace the bulb, maybe even upgrade it, but that one spot in the room stays shadowed. That's not a lighting issue, that's memory. Places where something intense happened tend to hold on to that moment, and sometimes light refuses to fully touch it. This one is dangerous because it's so easy to ignore. You might notice it late at night or early in the morning. A faint, unfamiliar scent, not rotten, not exactly, just out of place, like something that doesn't belong to you. You clean the house, you spray fresheners, you open windows, but somehow it comes back, always in the same spot. Because some smells aren't physical, they're emotional residues, the kind that lingers after something irreversible has happened. Now, think about the walls. Have you ever felt like a specific wall in your house makes you uncomfortable for no reason? You don't like sitting near it. You avoid looking at it for too long. It's just a wall, but it feels like it's watching you. That's because sometimes the last thing a person saw becomes a part of that space. Their fear, their pain, their final moments don't just disappear. They settle right there, quietly, waiting. But here's where it gets more real. The sounds, not loud noises, not footsteps or bangs. I'm talking about subtle sounds, a soft shift, like someone adjusting their position, a faint tapping, not rhythmic, but intentional. You stop and listen. It stops too, almost like it knows you noticed, and it doesn't want to be obvious. Now, let me tell you something even more disturbing. Mirrors. Have you ever looked into a mirror in your house and felt like your reflection was just slightly delayed? Not enough to prove anything, just enough to make you uncomfortable. That's not your imagination. Mirrors don't just reflect light, they reflect presence. And if someone spent their last moments in front of one, sometimes that moment loops, quietly, endlessly. And then there's the feeling, the one you can't explain. When you're alone, but suddenly you don't feel alone anymore. No sound, no movement, just a shift in the air, like something changed and your body noticed before your mind did. That's instinct. Human beings are wired to detect presence, even when we can't see it, especially when we can't see it. But here's the twist, the part no one talks about. These signs, they don't appear immediately. They start after you've been living there for a while, after you've made the space yours, after your routines settle in, because whatever is there doesn't react to strangers. It reacts to familiarity, to life, to someone replacing what used to be there. Think about it. Why do these feelings get stronger at night? Why do certain rooms feel heavier after midnight? Why do you wake up at the exact same time? For no reason, because you are not the only one following a routine in that house. Now imagine this. Someone lived there before you. Not just lived, but died. Maybe suddenly. Maybe alone. Maybe in a way that left something unfinished. That kind of energy doesn't just disappear. It looks for patterns, for repetition, for familiarity. And when you move in, you unknowingly start recreating those patterns. You sit in the same spot. You sleep in the same room. You follow the same nightly habits. And slowly, without realizing it, you align with something that was already there. That's when the house starts responding. At first, it's subtle, a feeling, a shadow, a sound. But over time, it becomes more direct, more personal. You might start dreaming about the same place over and over again. Not your house, but something similar, familiar yet wrong. You wake up feeling like you've been there before, like you remember something you shouldn't. And then, one day, something changes. You walk into a room, and for a split second, it feels occupied, not empty, not yours, like you interrupted something or someone. That's the moment most people ignore. They brush it off, call it stress, fatigue, imagination. But here's the truth. That's not your house. It never was. You're just the latest person living in someone else's ending. And sometimes, endings don't like being replaced. But here's the beautiful part. The part that most people don't realize. Not everything that stays is there to harm you. Some presences aren't angry. They're lost, confused, stuck in a moment they couldn't escape. And when you feel that presence, when you notice those signs, it might not be a warning. It might be a memory, asking to be acknowledged. So, instead of fear, try awareness, try understanding. Because sometimes, the scariest thing isn't that something is there. It's that no one ever noticed it before. Tonight, when you turn off your lights and your room falls silent, just ask yourself one question. Are you really living alone? Or are you just continuing a story that never ended?